Hey guys, what is up? It is Mark with Boozy and Bezeled, and today I bring you a really cool review. I'm a little late to this, but I've been quite busy the last couple of weeks with my mom. We had an emergency and stuff like that, work, just things get in the way, you know. I do this for fun, so. But other than that, let's see what we're going for. So, a lot of you know George Dickel. George Dickel's been around for quite some time. Their bottles tend to be in the lower shelf range, you know, $20, but they released a really cool bottle this year. It's the George Dickel 15-year-old. So, yeah, they do single barrel selects every so often, but they decided, you know, let's do a 15. They did a 13 a couple years ago, so I'm assuming this is the same juice, just aged slightly longer. And yeah, so before we get into that, let's dig into this wrist check. Today I'm wearing actually a newer watch that I received from one of my favorite brands, micro brands called Zelos, based out of Singapore. This watch is actually made out of bronze, so it ages really nicely. When I first got it, it was shiny and, you know, nice like rose gold colored, you know, bronze. But as it gets exposed to the elements, it gets dirty and darker. It eventually turns like pretty green. It's really cool. And I'm a huge fan of a lot of stuff that this company makes. I have a few of their watches. And yeah, it's a really nice watch, 40 millimeters. The dial is really cool because the whole dial glows with the lume. And yeah, Miyota movement, great value for the money. It does have a full bronze bracelet that I have not received yet, and I can't wait to receive that because a full bronze watch is going to be awesome. And the bracelet actually has stainless steel at the backing because bronze turns your skin green, and to get around that, they engineered this entirely new bracelet, new technology, really, really cool. So check them out. I highly recommend it. So that is out of the way. Let's go into George Dickel. George Dickel was an late 1800s entrepreneur based out of Nashville, Tennessee. He was selling and importing different whiskeys and ales and things like that from all over the world, selling them right in Nashville at a storefront. Natural progression, he decided he wanted to start producing his own juice, and just conveniently, Cascade Hollow Distillery had just opened up in 1878 right by him, so he became a large stakeholder inside the distillery. He decided then to move and, you know, produce his own stuff out of there, and that is how it was born, basically. And if you look on the bottle, it does say distilled in charcoal mellowed at Cascade Hollow Distillery. So they are pretty, you know, still tell you right on the bottle that it is not actually George Dickel that produces this stuff, but yeah. So you might have heard me say mellowed. What does mellowed mean? This is not a bourbon. This is a Tennessee whiskey. I'm going to read a little quote from the website that goes a little bit more into the history of this, and you know, they obviously know it well. So George Dickel preferred whiskey that was made in the winter months than in the summer months because he said it made it smoother. So the company started advertising George A. Dickel's Cascade Tennessee whiskey as mellow as moonlight. So they still use the word mellow on here, which is kind of cool. This is why our whiskey is chilled before going under the charcoal mellow filtration, known as the Lincoln County process. This extra step smooths out the flavor, and they're still one of the only Tennessee distilleries that do this way. They actually put it in a huge, deep 13-foot vat, and then they filter it through the charcoal that way, versus trickling through it, such as the other distillers like Jack Daniels. So let's break that down a little bit. For those that don't know what the Lincoln County process is, that's actually the act of charcoal filtration. Charcoal filtration is done only in Tennessee whiskeys, and that is the act of taking the liquor and running it through charcoal. Like I said, George Dickel does a 13-foot vat. They chill the whiskey, dump it in this vat, and it trickles down, you know, through the 13-foot charcoal vat. Where Jack Daniels actually trickles it through a wall of charcoal. So it's a little bit different. I believe the whiskey is actually chilled down to 40 degrees-ish before they put it through the 13-foot vats, which is pretty chill. So they say that causes it to get, you know, much smoother, much, you know, as George Dickel said, mellow as moonlight flavors. So pretty interesting. You know, there's only a handful of Tennessee whiskey places, and that is why it is not called a bourbon, because of the charcoal filtration. So for those that did not know. A lot of people know George Dickel for their bottled in bond, their rye, and their number 12. You know, they all range around $20. But this 15-year-old dropped at the beginning of 2021, and it really is something else. I've had their rye and their bottled in bond. They're okay, right? They're what you expect in the $18, $20 range. And they did something actually even cooler with this. This is a single barrel, and every bottle is different. You know, every barrel is different. And instead of pumping up the proofs or, you know, watering them down, they kept everything the same. So what that means is that the proof varies vastly per bottle, and it is really, really, really cool. They have 40, 42s, 46s, 52s. This bottle is 46.7%. I do have a sample, and I will try them later. I do have 52.6 and a 42.2. Very, very different flavors, and it's really, really cool. And the fact that they did such a wide range is, you know, it's pretty stunning. Generally speaking, single barrels are all within a few proofs of each other. 115, 117, 112. Not 90 to, you know, 102, 103. Like that's a pretty big difference. Once you hit that 100, that's a huge difference. So I think it's time that we actually dig into this guy. The cork's really cool. It's actually a big wooden cork. I love wooden corks. I actually really like the bottle too. It's, you know, reminds me of the Woodford Reserve double oaked bottle. But it's cool. It's got the little barrel on it. They have the 1870, you know, on it. It's pretty cool. In my bottle number, just for those that care, this is bottle 308. So the price is around $60 for these, which is, for a 15-year-old, that is a steal. Yeah, 15-year-old in bourbons, generally speaking, they're around $100 plus, right? You have the Knob Creek 15, which is $100. You have the Elijah Craig 18, which is, you know, that's retail 150, goes up to, you know, $200, $300, $400. You have the Elijah Craig 12, you know, that's $70. So, you know, you have a 15-year-old for $60. I've seen them as low as $50 at a store local to me. So value-wise, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. I'll let this air out a little bit. Being that this is a Tennessee whiskey, the first thing you notice is the nose is very different. It is mellow as moonlight. It's not moonlight today behind me. This is the first time I've actually recorded in the daytime. I'm running out of nighttime to record because, you know, it's like 10 o'clock by the time I can finally record some nights, now that it gets dark so late. So this is very mellow. You're getting caramel, cinnamon, a little bit of citrus, like orange, a little bit of spice coming through. You know, like it's the sweet, like the vanilla. And you get very, very light oak. It is 15, so you would expect oak to come through some. Yeah, but caramel, vanilla, cinnamon, spices, citrus, orange, and slightly oaky. All right. Take a sip. Cheers. If you guys have never had a Tennessee whiskey, I definitely recommend you pick one up. the palate is very, very different. It's very chilled and I don't want to say the word mellow because it feels cliche, but it is. It's very smooth and but yet full of flavor. All the flavors from the nose are carrying through. The biggest one that's sticking out though is the citrus. This is orange. Orange through the roof. Orange and vanilla, almost like a creamsicle. Very caramel and vanilla. Cinnamon, a little bit of spice, and the oaky. Oak actually is now stronger than it was in the nose, but it's definitely oaky. You know, this is the sweet caramel and the vanilla kind of remind me of those cowtail candies, or like maybe candied orange. It's definitely very candy-esque and sweet and orange. Yeah, definitely. The finish is actually pretty long on this. Has a fantastic mouthfeel. The finish has some spice, vanilla, citrus dissipates. The oak, the oak hits you. The oak's the last thing that really hits you, and then just kind of carries away. And the orange is still there. So you have the orange, the spice, the vanilla, and it just kind of like fades away. Mellowed. Yeah, that is a great, mellow as moonlight would be a fantastic way to still describe this. I mean, it is very good. I could sip this a lot, and I have. I've been drinking this a lot since I've had it. If I could, I would get this, the 46.7%. I would recommend this, and I would get it again. And next time I go to the store that had a massive supply of them, I'm going to check it out. Because if they have another one, I would not mind putting one, putting one away. I'm going to go for another sip because I'm thirsty. Oh, yeah. When you chew on that a little bit in your mouth too, it really opens up the orange. The orange like comes in and like punches you. Orange and vanilla, yeah. Orange, vanilla, and caramel. Those are the three most distinct flavors on the palate. All right, so I said I had other ones, and I did. I'm very lucky. Eric from New Jersey Bourbon Hunters on Instagram, and my buddy Daniel, the same guy that sent me the bottle of Weller's, they sent me some samples. So let me go get those guys, and let's check it out. All right, so here is the 42.2%. This is the 52.3%, and this is the 46.7%. So let's start lower. Let's actually. Let's go lowest to highest. I don't want to burn out my flavors. Oh, the nose is vastly different on this. A little less oak. Not a little less, a lot less oak. Actually, almost no oak. Still getting the orange, but it's much lighter. Vanilla and caramel and cinnamon spices are still there, but it's definitely missing. Oh yeah, it's definitely missing those. Oak and orange or citrus are pretty much non-existent in the 42. Let's check the 52. Oh wow, significantly, like, it's higher in alcohol, but it's significantly more ethanol-y. A little bit more orange. Oak is not so much. I'm not really getting much vanilla. I'm getting some spice, maybe some caramel. Yeah. All right. Let's take a sip. Cheers. Whoa. Wow. Wow. That was something. So the 42%, I'm I'm getting the orange and the vanilla, cinnamon, same flavor profiles. However, I'm getting a lot more of the caramel and cinnamon vanilla. Not so much of the orange. I'm getting more oak though this time. I did not expect that from the nose. The finish though, wow. Finish is long. Very oaky, hangs out. Take another one. It definitely hangs out. That finish is significantly longer than 46.7. 46.7 has a little bit more flavor. Put the finish in. Wow. I was not expecting that. All right, so now this is the, let's, you know what? No. Take another sip of the 46.7. So good. Vanilla, caramel, citrus, orange, spices, bit of oak. Just as good as I remembered it. All right, let's take the 52.3%. Wow, that ethanol punches you in the face. Definitely want to. Very ethanol. I'm shocked. It's not that high. It's only 104.6 proof. Definitely want to inhale with your mouth open so it doesn't burn your nose. All right, cheers. Whoa, vastly different as well. Less orange, more baking spices, a little bit more caramel. Vanilla. Maybe some spices, like spices are like nutmeg, clove, maybe. That's it. This doesn't have that long of a finish. That was weird and unexpected. This coats your mouth like crazy, and then it just dies. Weird. I'm actually quite perplexed. I was expecting this to be the best. You know, higher alcohol, more flavor. I was expecting this to blow us out of the water. I am in a pickle, bruh. Definitely a pickle. Oh, wow. I'm a little sad. I'm a little sad right now. This is good. Yeah, it's good, but I'll leave it at that. I don't think all right, so this is gone, right? Wow, I didn't think that was gonna happen. I'm upset. Well, now it's, yeah, very upset. Whatever, it happens. The finish is just like, gone, poof, poof. Did my fairy godparents take it? What happened to it? Just gone. Wow, it's a little upsetting. Flavor's there, the finish just goes away. Now it's I'm gonna go with 46.7%. I think that's the best overall rounded of them all. I'm glad I got that bottle. Glad this is mine. Don't get me wrong, I liked all three. In this, you could chug all night with, but this has, so the 42% has the longest finish. Good flavor profile, but the flavor is definitely lacking slightly. 46.7% has the fantastic finish, fantastic everything, right? It's good. And then the 52 flavors there, the alcohol's there. I mean, it's a little ethanol-y for me, but I would definitely think that was a higher proofed. But damn, that finish. It's a bummer. All right, well, I'm gonna go cry in the corner. No, I think that goes. I think this goes to show what George Dickel did, and I'm impressed. I'm very, very, very impressed what they did. So I'm actually gonna pull something up on my Instagram, because I had posted this bottle when I first got it on the Boozy and Bezeled Instagram, and the master distiller, she actually reached out to me, and I'll tell you what she said. So Nicole Austin, who is the general manager and distiller at Cascade Hollow Distilling Co., she said that the range and proof is wide because of their unique, in the US at least, single-story warehouses. At these ultra-high ages, we tend to see a wide ranges in barrel proof. I didn't want to water down the higher ones. So she decided, hey, let's release a bunch of them. And I can commend that. And first of all, she reached out to me on her personal Instagram. Cool as hell. And I think that's pretty cool. So they're aware, they're following the market, and I think that's really cool. I think what they're doing is really nice. I'm very excited to see what George Dickel does down the road. I am very pleased with this. And Nicole, thank you for reaching out on Instagram and explaining that to me. That was pretty cool. And yeah, well, cheers, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well and is staying safe and is going slightly, getting back to the norm. And have a good day.